Hi, I'm Niraj Verma, Cloud Solutions Architect here at NetApp. In this video, I'd like to give you an update and a quick demonstration of NetApp Cloud Volume Service for Google Cloud Platform. The team here at NetApp and Google is extremely happy to announce that the service is now available in beta release. Several new features and functionality have been added in this beta release. And in the next couple of minutes, I'll talk about what those features are, and I'll give you a tour of the enhanced service UI and workflow. With that, let's first talk about what's new in the beta release. First and foremost, the service is now open to all GCP customers and user accounts. There is no longer a need to get whitelisted. You can enable and access the service just like any other service in GCP in a self-service fashion. Second, to make the onboarding process quick, seamless, and secure for our customers, we have automated the data patch setup to establish the network connectivity. Third, customers can now take advantage of the updated and simplified user interface of the beta release. An example of that is all volumes in all regions in a given project will now be presented in a single unified view. I'll demonstrate some of the other UI and workflow enhancements shortly here. Fourth, we're also pleased to announce a global and user accessible API. Users can now programmatically provision, update, or delete a cloud volume using API calls. In addition to that, with a centralized and global API endpoint, you can seamlessly and easily integrate cloud volumes with other GCP services and workflows. Fifth, similar to the API, which is integrated with Google Cloud Identity and Access Management, we have further enhanced security with the introduction of granular roles, that of an admin and a viewer. These roles can be assigned to IAM users or service accounts to perform service-related tasks. And finally, we have added support for shared VPC topology, allowing you to peer the service with a host project, and multiple service projects can thereby access the Cloud Volume resources. So that's the high-level summary of the new features in Cloud Volume's beta release. Now let's take a look at some of this in action. I'm currently logged into the Google console, and if I go to my navigation menu on the top left here and scroll all the way to the bottom, there's NetApp Cloud Volume Service available right within the GCP service menu. You can see that from a control plane standpoint, the service is truly a first-party offering that is fully integrated within GCP. There's no separate deployment scripts that are running or separate authentication calls being made here. For ease of access, I can pin the service to my home section. And I'll go ahead and click on volumes. That brings me into the service dashboard. Listed here are some volumes that we created already. As mentioned earlier, all volumes in all regions will now be listed here in this unified view. All other key details such as the volume service level, mount targets, along with the size and protocol are listed right here in the dashboard. On the left, you also have the snapshot tab where you can take on-demand snapshots of your volume before a major upgrade or event, for example. And you also have the Active Directories tab that allows you to create a connection to your AD for creating SMB volumes. Now let's walk through the simple workflow to create a cloud volume. I'll click Create. And the first thing to note here is that with the new UI, there's no separate tab for NFS or SMB protocols. We have unified that in a drop-down selection below. I'll give it a name first. I'll select the central region. The volume path is automatically generated. I'll pick extreme service level for this volume. I'll give it a size of 1 terabyte or 1 tebibyte. Note that we have transitioned over to the binary prefixes with the beta release. I'll choose NFS protocol for this volume, but you also have the option to select SMB as mentioned earlier. If you are leveraging a shared VPC topology in your GCP environment, you can peer the service with your host project, which would allow the service projects to consume the Cloud Volume resources. And I can do that by selecting this checkbox right here and select my host project name. My project here is currently a standalone project, so I'll skip that for now. We also auto-populate the VPC networks that are available and authorized for this project. I have just the one here. I'll select my VPC network. And we give you the option to select a custom address range for your cloud volumes. And you can provide that here in the CIDR format. If you don't do that, we select and reserve one for you. And at that point, you can come in here and click on this icon here and run these commands from the Cloud Shell to establish data path connectivity. Two things to note here. These commands only have to be run as a one-time setup. You don't have to repeat this for every volume that you create. And the other thing you can see here is that the service uses a VPC peering model that dramatically simplifies and secures the cloud volume service architecture and avoids having to manually provision routers and attachment. Since I've already done that for this project here, I'll go ahead and select my export policy and add a rule to allow access to all my instances in this project. You also have the option to set up automated snapshots based on a predefined schedule and retention. I'll skip that for now and click Save. While we're waiting for a few seconds here for that volume to come back as created, I'm going to click on this icon here under Show More. And this is where you can check out the mount instructions that allow you to easily mount this volume to your Google Cloud Compute instances. And there we have it. With that, we have come to the end of this demonstration. I'd like to thank you for watching.